Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Okay, dear friends in Dhamma, I'm Bhante Ratana. Today I'm going to give a sermon about Buddha's frontal bone. So you can see the Buddha's frontal, like a frontal bone in this picture. So it's called Lalatadhatu in Pali. In English, frontal bone relics. I'm going to talk the history of the Buddha's frontal bone relic. So before I start to talk about the frontal bone of the Buddha, I would like to start from his parinirvana. In English, is passing away. Buddha passed away at the age of 80 at Upavattana Sala Grove in Kushinagar, Uttar Pradesh in India today. So this is a Gandhari sculpture. Today it is northwestern Pakistan and eastern Afghanistan. The Gandhara period was between 1st century BCE and the 7th century BCE. In this particular Gandhara sculpture, epic that a Buddha passed away and his disciples were mourning, and you can see two sala trees and two sides, and the Buddha passed away between the two sala trees. So in this picture you can see one monk is meditating. He is the last disciple of the Buddha. He is try to get the deliverance, and Venerable Ananda is mourning. So this is the place where Buddha passed away in Sala Grove. Today we can see this stupa. This is the right place in Kushinagar. So Buddha's corpse laid in the coffin for 7 days after his passing away. You can see this also Gandhari sculpture, and you see this coffin and monks are mourning and two sala trees two sides of the Buddha's coffin. And the Buddha advised his disciple to be held his funeral ceremony according to the funeral custom of a universal monarch. So uh, this place called Makutabandhana Stupa. Today is called Rambar Stupa, Kushinagar, Uttar Pradesh. Out of respect, the Malla kings decided to do the cremation ceremony. The place called Makutabandhana, and the place where the coronation ceremony was held for previous Malla kings. So this is the place Buddha's cremation ceremony was, and later the archaeologists excavated this site in this stupa, and they found ashes and things. So this is how this place look like today. So it's a big stupa. And you can see in this particular Gandhari sculpture that's burning the cremation of Buddha's body. Like, so you can see the flame, and it's still Venerable Anand this morning and the kings. So this place is called Makutabandhana, the Rambari Stupa today. And this is the place, especially before Buddha pass away, he make a wish to fracture all his bone except 7 bone. So so that's called dhatu, like relics. So this is the place where the relics were distributed by Brahmin drone. This is this picture how it look like today. This called village Anuradhapura. So there is a big huge Bodhi tree, and this is the place Brahmin Drona distributed Buddha's bodily relics. So I I told that Buddha determined to practice all his bones except 7 bones. These are the 7 great relics of the Buddha, the frontal bone relics, and today and also I'm talking about that, and the 2 collarbones and the 4 canine teeth. The right collarbone is in Tuparami Stupa in ancient city of Anuradhapura in north central province. The left collarbone is in Salumini Stupa in Brahma realm. The bottom left canine tooth relics in Tooth Palace in Kandy, Sri Lanka. The right one is in Somawati Stupa in Polonnaruwa, North Central Province in Sri Lanka. Other canine tooth is in Tawatinsa, Deva realm. So, I want to mention about relics. So, Buddha determined to fracture all his bones into relics except these 7 great relics of the Buddha. So, there are 3 sizes of relics. The tiniest relics are the size of a mustard seed, and the color is like jasmine blossom. The smaller relics are the size of a crumbled rice, and the color is like a pearl. The medium-sized relics are the size of a mung bean, and the color is golden. So today I'm going to talk about this Buddha's frontal bone relics and its history. So this another Gandhara sculpture, you can see Brahmin Drona is sharing relics of the Buddhas with eight kings, and you can see in the bottom the container used to measure the relics. Then it's called Magadha Nali. So it's the measurement in that era, how they measured Buddha's relics. So today my topic is Buddha's frontal bone, Lalatadhatu, and this frontal bone were received by King Mallas, including their portion of relics. So later Arahant Mahakassapa went to see the king, and he said, Your Majesty, the Buddha advised how we should react with this Buddha's frontal bone. You receive it, but Buddha had another idea. Buddha had idea because in the future he advised us to send it to Sri Lanka when the right time comes. So until right time comes, he asked me to take care of it and take the responsible to take care of the relics. So Arahant Mahakassapa later received the frontal bone relics from the King Mallas. This another picture of the place where the relics were distributed by Brahmin Drona. So and Arahant, Mahakassapa, the great Arahant, gave the responsible later to Arahant Mahananda. You can see the Arahant Mahananda's picture. He is holding the Buddha's frontal bone relic in the casket, and also this is the shrine of Kutagara Monastery in Vaishali. Arhat Mahananda kept this Buddha's frontal bone in Kutagara Monastery in Vaishali and took care and paid respect. So then Arhat Mahananda gave the responsibility to take care of this Buddha's frontal bone relics to Arhat Chandragupta. And Arahant Chandragupta, he enshrined the Buddha's frontal bone relics at the shrine of Jetavana Monastery, where Buddha reside. Before in Jetavana Grove, you can see the picture of where the Buddha reside in this little room in Jetavana Monastery at the Anathapindika's Park, Savatthi in India. This is the picture of Arahant Chandragupta. Arahant Chandragupta gave the responsibility to Arahant Bhadrasena and asked him to take care of the Buddha's frontal bone relics, and he kept it in at the Isipatana monastery in Deer Park, Varanasi. This is the kuti or rooms where Buddha reside in monastery, Visipatana monastery in Deer Park, Varanasi. Some devotees put some golden plate, and this is the Arahant Bhadrasena. Arahant Bhadrasena gave the responsibility to Arahant Jayasena, and he kept the Buddha's frontal bone relics at the bamboo grove, the Veluvana temple in Rajgiri. This is the picture of Veluvana monastery and the picture of Arahant Jayasena. He still didn't do the excavation and find the right place where the Buddha reside in this monastery. So this is Arahant Sangarakkhita, and later he took the responsibility to take care of Buddha's frontal bone, and he kept that Buddha's frontal bone in Gositarama monastery in Kosambi in India. So this is a picture of that's Gositarama monastery. This is the picture of Arahant Sangarakkhita, and Arahant Sangarakkhita gave the responsibility to take care of the Buddha's frontal bone relics to Arahant Mahadeva, and he still took care of this relic in the Gositara monastery, Kosambi. Later, Arahant Mahadeva came to Sri Lanka with the frontal bone relics of the Buddha from Gositarama monastery, Kosambi, when the right time comes. At that time, King Devanampiyatissa, who ruled the country in Sri Lanka, his younger brother, the Prince of Ruhuna, Mahanaga, ruled the southern part of Sri Lanka, and he received this Buddha's frontal bone relics, and he made 9 stories palace to keep the Buddha's frontal bone relics, and after he paid his respect to Buddha's frontal bone relics and took care of it. Still we can see a huge ruin of a palace next to Yatalathissa monastery, nearby Yatalathissa monastery, huge stone pillars. So I assume that can be the that 9 stories building in Ruhuna. So after that, King Yatalathissa took care of the Buddha's frontal bone relics, and after Yatalathissa, King Gautama, Great King Gautama, who took care of the Buddha's frontal bone relics. After King Gautama, the Great King Kawanthissa received the Buddha's frontal bone. In this particular picture, you can see King Kawanthissa and Queen Vihara Mahadevi. She is standing right side, and the Great Arahant. The King Kawanthissa and Queen Vihara Mahadevi are the parents of Great King Dutthagamini Abhaya, who built a great stupa, namely Swarnamali Maha Stupa, the 2nd century BCE. Finally, the Great King Kawanthissa, who made the Seruwavila Stupa and enshrined the frontal bone relics with some Buddha's hair relics at Seruwavila Stupa in Trikunamala district. So if you want to know more about this, read Dhatu answer to. Then you can know more details about this. So um, this is the story behind Buddha's frontal bone and the relics, Lalatadhatu. So this is how the Seruwavila Stupa look like today. The Buddha's frontal bone and the Lalatadhatu is called in Pali. In English, the Buddha's frontal bone relics enshrined in this beautiful stupa, and most of the Buddhist devotees come and pay their utmost respect to this great stupa today. Is situated in Trincomalee district, Eastern Province district in Eastern Province. Is so is built in 2nd century BCE. So if you want to read more about this Buddha's great relics, frontal bone relics, so information on Buddha's passing away, cremation ceremony, and sharing relics are in Mahaparinibbana Sutta, Digha Nikaya, and the Buddha Vansapali and Dhatu Bhajaniya Katha, Kuddaka Nikaya, Sumangala Vilasani, a commentary of Digha Nikaya, was written by Buddhaghosa, Venerable Buddhaghosa. Specific rare information about the relics and lineage and the stupa and where they ended up in a Dhatuvansa historical chronicle of Sri Lanka, and Jinakala Malani, which was written by a Thai Buddhist monk in 12th century. So this is the story of Buddha's frontal bone relics. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I conclude my sermon by saying sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.